busy feller. These topics are purely ad lib. So when you think about life, what do you think about are the most important key factors that really make sure you have a balanced and successful existence? So the balance of life, huh? I really was thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's odd.
People talk about like work-life balance. But here's the thing. Back in like, I don't know, 1800s, like when you had to grow your own food and till your own land and whatnot, people didn't have jobs, but they worked from sun up to sundown, just went to sleep and did it again. Like there was no, you balanced, you died. I mean, I get it, like we're in a state of a little more
prosperity,
easiness now, yeah. But
it's job deviation, so like you take care of this, you take care of this, you take care of this, and so at the end of the day, each one of us has more free time.
Right. I think there's a difference between doing something you hate and overdoing it versus doing something you either a need or a passion or joy. I mean, I would say tilling the land and growing your food is kind of a passion back then.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's still farmers that choose that life.
Yeah.
Just choose showing up as a shepherd.
I'm a king in here. Look at my cows. The balance thing, the life balance thing is created by lazy people.
You were living out of pure joy and pure self-fulfillment of whatever that might be. Are you neglecting other areas of your life? Because like, how many people have a singular sole interest?
Yeah. But if you're at peace and joy and contributing to the greater good of society, does it matter? You know, like if you're miserable or stressed out to where you can't function or ill or whatever, that's a different story. Obviously, your scales are all out of whack. But like,
it's odd too that everything that everybody loves has a precipice of where it becomes a dislike. You can absolutely love everything about what you do, and then you'll just reach this point of, I need a break from this.
Yeah.
So where does that line intersect, and how do you keep from reaching that point of, man, I really love what I do, I 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 need a vacation?
I'd say it's a progression before so. I mean, I could say when I burned out from personal training back in the day, like we were like really like,
that's all we did.
Yeah, there was no progression of what we were doing. Like it was train, get more clients, train. But like, the passion is growing something and building something. When you get to this precipice where it's just the same thing over and over, and you're not really growing. I feel like the passion was kind of reignited when we moved here, and we added something new, and then we started building a gym more so than like a training studio. I don't know. That's what really
It's people at the pinnacle of their sport too. Like somebody, I don't know, like Shohei Ohtani or LeBron James or something like that, where they reach that line of I want to do something else. Like so they venture out into clothing, or they venture out into movies or whatever it might be. So it's like everyone, even at that top of the line where their natural skills correlate to their work ethic, still reaches that moment of, this is enough of that.
I would argue that because LeBron James is 39 years old, he's still playing in the NBA at the same level. You know, yes, he has other ventures as well, but he's still doing that because it's still progressing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for an athlete, speaking in that world, you'll have it where you're not progressing anymore. Your age has overrode your skill set. And so now it's like the joy is gone because you're not progressing. Or you reach that limit where it's like,
your body's
regressing. I see myself, it's time to do something else. And I mean, I think more than not, those type of people continue doing something else, just not the sport component. So I think it's more just that competitive drive. And I think that's similar to us. Like it's more so about, I don't think it's specifically tied to fitness as it is just building and
growth,
and competition and improvement and so on and so forth. It just happens to be that we're into fitness.
Right. We do things just out of pure joy too. Like, you'll meditate, I guess there's some level of growth there too, but listen
I'm
to
not a
music.
good example.
You go to concerts just to enjoy
Yeah,
that
that's
moment.
more for fun. Yeah. But even on vacations, like I don't like sitting around. I like to go do shit. I want to experience as much as I possibly can. So like, I'm gonna go like not sit on the beach. I'm gonna go walk on the beach and then go do something else and then go do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so who knows? That's probably me running away. Or I just really want to experience the world.
Yeah, there's that side of it too. So now that we're actually at a real conversationary point of, okay, there's your work that you want growth on, and then there's your experience of seeing the world. So how does that balance intersect of finding both and fulfilling a life? Like for me, it's balancing all those things on top of taking care of kids and trying to grow a family and make that better. Well, not grow a family, but like
kind of. You
Yeah.
feed them, they grow.
growing
Although they don't grow
individuals.
very well
But
with
then
graham
also,
crackers
too,
and
it's-
water.
It's finding a balance between that and time for yourself and what you want.
Yeah.
So it's to fulfill a life, it's not solely just about work. It's not just solely about taking care of my kids. It's not solely about me. It's finding this Venn diagram of everything intersecting so that it all coincides, and it's always shifting of some days my kids annoy the shit out of me. I'm like, I don't want to be around you right now. Other days I'm like, man, I really don't want to be at work. I want to go hang out with them and make sure they know that I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's hard to build that all in. You try to be everything to everybody at every moment, it stresses you out. So it's trying to find that true balance of growth for myself, doing things that I enjoy, which is tough to build in, and then providing and giving a better life than what prior generations had. So just building.
Yeah.
There's growth there too, but it's technically there's no balance because everything's trying to grow, and it's hard to make a field grow if you're running out of water.
I definitely don't think it's balanced in the general context. I think it's, like you said, a moving target where it's like sometimes this needs more, that needs more, this needs more, that needs more. But also I think there's a lot of it too. I think if you really look at it, if you can get to the point where everything in your life is an enjoyment of your own, like you enjoy hanging out with kids, you enjoy going to your job. Overall, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm not giving up something to make sure everybody else is okay, because the things that I enjoy are also the things that help other people. You know, like I don't ever, like honestly, a lot of times on the weekend, I'm like, I can't wait till the week starts because I'm bored. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to go back to the gym.
But do you feel like that's a sacrifice to yourself?
No, because I'm not missing out on anything. You know what I'm saying? Like before it has been, yeah, absolutely. I missed a ton of things in the first 7-8 years, whatever. But at this point, like, you know, generally speaking, I feel like we can go do something if we need to go do it. It's not here. And then, but like, I do look forward to, because my friends are here. You know, so it's like, if I'm not hanging out with my friends on the weekend, I can't wait till the week starts so I can go back to the gym so I can hang out with my friends. But I can also do work while I'm there. You know, this is work.
Yeah.
But I'm also hanging out with my friends.
Isn't it odd though, even in finding that balance, how many different things people are drawn to? Like I need to draw, I need to make movies, I need to garden, I need to dance. Like all these people have certain interests and needs that they get drawn to. Some of it's natural talent, some of it's just what you enjoy. And I think that's so interesting that it's so broad.
Yeah.
And then how many things have to account for somebody getting an interest in one thing. Whether it's a remembrance of somebody, like my mom used to garden, so every time I go out and garden, I feel like I'm connecting to my mom. Or my grandma used to sing me songs, so I love to play the piano. Or I got so much accolades from playing sports that I tether it to my own self-esteem. And so now, for me to feel good about myself and to balance my own life, I need that feeling of feeling accomplished or doing well at something, so that I can come back and have the self-esteem I need to perform better at work, perform better for my family. But all of these interesting compounding factors that come in to form a person, but now that's a need in their life for them to succeed at everything else.
Yeah.
And feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Like why is music and going to some concert or festival so important to you? Like,
I've always, like, my entire life, literally since a kid, just always enjoyed music.
But like even then, it's because your parents played music.
No, I mean they played music, but not like. I mean, literally, I was drawn towards different musics. Some of the stuff they listened to, a lot. I'd never even heard of rap, and I was drawn to it immediately. The first time I ever heard Master P say immediately.
That's what he made me say.
I mean, yeah, like I wanted to be a music A&R.
Yeah.
For the longest time, just because I was like, I'm not good at music, but I can hear music, and I feel like I can find talent.
And then what kept you in baseball?
I just enjoyed it. I just enjoy sport in general. Like I would have played basketball first and foremost, but I was too short and too white.
Yeah, Stockton didn't say that.
I got cut freshman year.
It's weird. I got told to play water polo, and then I jumped in the pool and sank. And like,
Never mind.
never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I mean, obviously, as a kid, those things, I mean, some came from parents and whatnot, but overall, like, a lot of my attraction was always natural. Like clothes, like I was drawing shoes when I was like 8 years old.
Isn't that so wild, though, that early you start to find things that you enjoy that are almost individualistically to yourself outside of influence, and then the things that are by influence.
Yeah. Some of me believes it is a soul thing. Like your soul has certain things that it takes with it
along the way.
Yeah. And so you just find, like, that's how you naturally find things or whatever. I don't know, maybe not, but
I mean, it's valid. It's an idea because it is like, so broad.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be something in music. Obviously, a Major League Baseball player, a cartoonist, and a shoe designer. And something with math, because I was just good at math. But I think that was just because, like, that's the only, like, actual career path you could have, like an engineer or architect or whatever.
But I would still say some level of that you still implement into your own life.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. I've had it still.
And that accounts for your level of balance in your life and fulfillment. Like your but your want to design clothing fulfills that need. If you were to never do it again, would you feel like something's missing?
I don't think so, because I didn't do it, but it was the ability to be able to infuse it into this was the piece that was like, oh, this is fun. Like I feel like the more I express creativity, the more creativity I have.
So it grows.
Yeah, it's just like a muscle. Yeah. Like, because I always saw myself as not creative, and then the more, like if I had an idea, it was like, oh, let's do that, and I did it, then more ideas would flood in easily, versus if I was like, nah, then I'd go stagnant. So I don't know if it's like a energy thing where you use that energy and so now you have more room for more energy and so on and so forth, or if it's like just the practice of it, where like just training a muscle, like the more you do it, the more you have access to it.
I mean, you're kind of hitting on something too, is the people that struggle with self-esteem and depression and anxiety, if they lose sense of that growth and there's no hope.
Right.
Like depression is a loss of hope.
Yeah.
Or shame to a certain thing. So finding those things that really infuse your life are what can create that momentum forward for a lot of people. What if you get a lackluster soul that just doesn't want to do anything? Like that's a piece of it. It's like now your purpose in life is to get this depressed soul that's in you to like something. It's just at a buffet line going, I don't like crap. I don't like steak. Where can you just get that shitty soul? There's no way there's not a negative soul. Like just something that comes out of the ground just pissed off, just depressed that it got run over by a kid's Tyco truck and somehow it killed it. Think about how many people have just natural skill sets for things, but they have zero interest in it.
Yeah.
And so it never gets fulfilled.
Right. Which
Like
I
somebody
wonder.
that can just draw, like just look at something and go,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful, and they're like, I don't really want to do this.
Right.
It messes me up even more though as being a dad. Like, what if they're like, man, I really like this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, right? Like, even if it's not on purpose, but they're like a bocce ball wizard, like. I have to find a way to convince myself that
Yeah.
I'm putting them above myself. But in doing that, candidly, you're taking away from your own happiness. You're doing it to give happiness to your kid and say, all right, let's really go after this. But like, I don't want to sit at a Rubik's Cube competition. I mean, I'm happy and I'm like proud, but at the same time, I'm like,
So I think there's a difference between you enjoying the activity sets or sport or whatever that they like and being highly thrilled that they're thrilled. Like, I don't think as a dad you would ever be like displeased when your child's truly a joy.
no.
Right. So I think there's like,
But it's a sacrifice of your
oh yeah, it's, I mean,
self.
it's gonna, yeah, I mean, there's like little things about anything, like going to a swim meet, you gotta watch 67 other kids swim, but when your kid wins, you're gonna be happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might not enjoy the sport, but like watching your kid come across the finish line and like you're gonna be happy. There's no, unless you're just an awful parent, not you specifically, but in general, like you're gonna be happy. So I think like you're in that moment, like the activity as a whole
Is that part
sucks.
of the balance is finding comfort in sacrifice?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the sacrifice side of it. Like in any relationship, family, friendship, partnership, whatever, there's gonna be some sacrifice. I don't think any two people get along 100% to where, you know. I mean, I have to watch gay porn because of you.
Research what we don't like.
Oh, that's what he says now. That's what he says. Like the amount of sacrifice, you're not sacrificing anything of your soul. You're just literally sacrificing 30 minutes to watch something that's
Back to
done.
what can you bend on? What do you break on?
Right. Yeah, I think it's realizing the level of sacrifice. Sacrificing to go somewhere that you don't want to be at necessarily because the other person wants you there. I think it's different than sacrificing your feelings to make sure somebody else is okay.
How much selfishness do you have to have? Sacrifice and selfishness. Like some people are going to be extremely selfish and say, this is about me, I need this the most, I need this, these are my needs. And then some people are going to be highly sacrificial and say, this, and this.
And those
So,
are
like balancing those needs of,
yeah, but I think that's the problem. Those are the two that get together in the most toxic relationship. Whereas you realize, like, I have a specific set of needs that I can't sacrifice, whatever that may be. And I have things that I can sacrifice, and you find somebody that molds into that. And same in a friendship. Like, you can call that a sacrifice because I'm gonna say, okay, you go do your thing with your kids, and I got the gym or whatever. But it's not it's a superficial sacrifice to the extent that it's not like, God, I don't want to be here today, but he's not here, so I gotta be, you know. I enjoy that. Like, I'm not doing anything I don't enjoy, like coming here and doing whatever. Like, so it's like, I mean, I obviously love you and respect you, so I know, like, okay, fatherhood comes first, like, let's do that. And I don't mind being here at the same time. So it's a sacrifice in the extent of,
more
but it's
load on
not.
you. Yeah.
But it's not because I also enjoy being here. Versus if it was like, I had kids too,
Yeah.
and we both had to not be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I was like, well, I'll sacrifice. You go home and I'll leave my kids at home alone. That's a sacrifice that's kind of like over the line. And then that's where that partnership is not going to work in that context. You know, so I think that's the give and take of like finding a specific relationship, partnership, whatever that
Balances.
yeah, that comes into a mold of sacrifices aren't cutting off someone else's life source or whatever. You know?
I'm just thinking about all the people that don't give a shit now. I shouldn't think negative, but I'm just like, we're talking about finding balance and fulfilling life. I'm thinking about all those people who are just like,
It's because people don't have a sense of purpose. There's this one girl here today. Oh my gosh, she was so beautiful. I'd buy her a rose.
is life pure sacrifice and dedication to other people the right path? In preaching and in sharing, they're fulfilling their own
That's what I
needs.
was gonna say. Even in service, you can still be fulfilled. So I think there's this societal split between service and selfishness. Service can be selfish,
Yeah.
and to some extent it is, which is fine. But I think it's because like if you get joy, like back in the day, you get joy out of training somebody, right? Like you just enjoy it. Even if they didn't pay you, you just enjoy helping people, teaching people exercise. You think it's valuable. You're getting joy out of that, but you're also in service. You know, so I think like I would see the goal is anybody that finds their passion is also in service.
I mean, outside of hurting people, you could make a profound and compelling argument that every action that you take that leads to a greater existence in your own life is a greater service to everyone else.
For sure.
Because you're presenting a better person in all regards.
Right. And that's some spiritual teachings is if you improve yourself, that reverberates down into the world.
Back to our original conversation of where is that actual balance of sacrifice to service. Like, okay, you just kind of determined that any action that makes you a better person is in some regard a service to yourself and society because you can bring back a better person.
Yeah, but to come back,
Then what's the neglect side?
it just depends on how you do it. So like, I mean, you in recent months have done work to improve yourself, which is going to affect your children in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of you doing that work in front of them or around them, it's still you're better, which is going to make you see life in a different way, which is going to make you help teach them or be around them or experience them in a different way, which then impacts their life and so on and so forth.
I guess it's intention. Like my intention is to make more money to provide better for my kids.
Right.
Is that misconstrued in the sense that it's not really benefiting them?
But it is.
But that's where
But
it's
it's
like
also
this whole
benefiting-
balance
but
of
the-
like where does that judgment factor of other people come from?
But I think you're making more money by doing service for a community.
The ability to truly give your best self to everyone else is the goal. Can I give the best version of
Okay,
myself
so-
to them? Give myself, not my work.
Right, give you
I'm trying to balance, like, my
Right,
work
just
is my money. Okay, you're fulfilled, you're standing there, but I'm not giving you me. I'm just giving you money. So in the place of me being there and being present, I'm saying, here's money, here's a legacy. I'm not really going to spend my
right, that would
effort
be
on
the
you.
extreme.
That's what I'm just trying to like see
Yeah.
the where that line is. Like,
Right. I mean, that's if you look at a lot of kids that grew up in wealthy families, like, yeah, my parents provided for me, they were never home.
right.
So there's a loss there. So you have to be able to provide
Time.
yourself, just yourself in general.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then vice versa. There's been plenty of situations, I'm sure, where there's had no money, but they were a phenomenal parent and raised their kids, and their kids grew up to be famous or wealthy or whatever.